We'll be going live to Dallas to talk with Marina Oswald, who was then the assassin's wife. Tonight, in an exclusive live interview, she'll shed new light on Oswald's role in the assassination. Lee Harvey Oswald. He was strange, a contradiction leading many secret lives. Now, the person who probably knew him best was his wife at the time of the tragedy, Marina Oswald Porter. Good evening, Marina.
Hello. Good evening to you too, whoever you are.
It's Jack Anderson, Marina. Okay. The Warren Commission and the media have portrayed your late husband, Lee Harvey Oswald, as a crackpot, a misfit, a loner. Now, you knew him better than anyone else. Were they right about him?
Well, at this point, I have to say that it won't be proper for me to portray Lee as an angel or put halo on his head. But all those crackpot and very derogatory statements that were made just simply to suit the theory of Warren Commission. And I was uncomfortable with all those claims, but I think it was just simply convenient for them to put those labels on Lee so he can fit the theory of the lone loony assassin.
Well, let me ask you this. Oswald posed with the rifle that supposedly killed President Kennedy. Then after the assassination, he left it for the police to find. Now, he may as well have left a signed confession. Is it possible someone persuaded him to pose with that rifle, then planted it as evidence against him? Or do you think Oswald wanted to go down in history as Kennedy's killer?
Okay, is the answer to your first part of the question, are you asking me about the picture that he posed?
Yes, Do you think someone persuaded him?
No, I took the pictures myself. I don't know how many, maybe one, two, maybe more.
Did he ask you to take those pictures?
He asked me to take those pictures. As an answer to your second part of the question.
Do you think he wanted to go down in history as Oswald?
No, not. You said that he left for police to see it. Are you talking about
yes.
the rifle left in school book depository?
Yes.
Well, I do not, and nobody knows whose rifle this actually was, or he left or who left. We do not know.
You think it's possible someone could have persuaded him to lead it or planted a rifle?
Somebody could plant the rifle. It's not factual that he left it over there.
Well, is he
Nobody's seen it.
Marina,
okay.
Was he the kind of a man who would have wanted to go down in history as the killer of a president?
I ask myself this question 1,001 times, and I never could believe or make myself comfortable. Even I never have I never could buy. I'm sorry.
Well,
even idea about that Lee did not like or want to kill President Kennedy. Everything that I ever learned about President Kennedy was good through Lee, so I don't think so.
Thank you, Marina. We'll be coming back to you later in the program with some more questions. We're back again with Marina Oswald Porter. Marina, you heard the reports that your uncle was a member of the KGB at the time you lived in Moscow with Oswald. Is that true?
My uncle has a rank in what you translated in English language as the Ministry of Internal Affairs. I do believe that will be equivalent to American FBI.
Did Oswald and your uncle ever meet, ever talk?
Of course. Yes, I mean, that was my family, and we always have family dinners and visits all the time, and the men discuss politics and whatsoever. And during those conversations, I saw Lee as a very proud American. He always was boasting about young president that was just elected, and that was John F. Kennedy.
Well, let me take you back to the weeks before the assassination. I understand someone was impersonating Oswald. In fact, didn't you learn that the impersonator was sometimes accompanied by a woman impersonating you?
After the assassination, I've seen lots of documentary when people, certain witnesses do testify to the fact that they saw Lee buying a car, they saw Lee doing this, or him drinking, which he did not drink at all. And then at one point, the FBI asked me to go with them because some witness claimed that it was Lee and I, being pregnant at the time, with certain description of maternity clothes, were visiting, I think it was a gun shop. So I don't remember visiting any gun shop, but I told the FBI, since my clothes description is so correct, maybe I'm just simply forgot or losing my mind. So we went to the place, and it wasn't, I never have been even near this place.
Well, thank you very much, Marina.
Sure.
We're going to have still more questions for you later in the program.
Okay.
We're back with Marina Oswald Porter, live from Dallas. Marina, you told the Ladies' Home Journal that you thought organized crime was behind the Kennedy assassination. How did you come to that conclusion?
I didn't come to the conclusion just overnight. It took scrupulous, not research, but little by little, since it's happened to me, I was interested what actually happened to me. And I read some books, I watched lots of documentals about President life, about Robert Kennedy life, about Edgar Hoover. And accumulation of those little evidence and the documentaries, all of a sudden when I was watching a movie about Robert Kennedy, when he was just portrayed, it was his life portrayed on television, and all of a sudden come to me that it wasn't John Kennedy that was supposed to be. The mob wasn't against John F. Kennedy, they were after Robert Kennedy, because he was against Mafia.
Well, Marina, you may recall,
Yes.
Marina, you may recall that Oswald, after his arrest, told police he was a patsy. Now, was he a man who could be manipulated by others?
I think all of us can be manipulated. Nobody a real exception. I think Lee was manipulated into he just had been, in my belief, that he was working for the government and he was just simply infiltrated groups that he was doing what he had been told to do.
You think he was being used?
I think so. From my own personal experience, I have been used just as well.
Do you think it was organized crime that was using him?
I don't think so.
I thought earlier you said that you thought it was organized crime.
Okay, I'm sorry. In my interview with the Ladies' Home Journal, I maybe didn't make myself clear, because when I read some reviews that they said Marina Oswald think that organized crime beside Lee Harvey Oswald were involved in the plot. I'm saying that right now that I do believe that organized crime was involved in the plot to kill John F. Kennedy. But I'm not saying that Lee was involved in the plot. He was implicated in the plot.
And you think unjustly so? You think that he may not have even pulled the trigger?
Absolutely.
Well, after the assassination, you became the Warren Commission's star witness against your late husband. Your testimony, more than any other evidence, helped the commission reach the conclusion that he was a deranged killer, that he acted alone. Clearly, you don't believe that now.
I do believe right now, when I said that I have been used as well, I believe that I have been used by Warren Commission and any committee that investigated so dishonestly sometimes to make Lee a guilty party.
Well, how did they handle you? You feel that they treated you unfairly?
Well, 25 years later, you're a little bit older. You look at your life back. I have been living with the guilt for a long time, and it was very convenient. I felt like I was just I was very easy mold at the time. I was very young and mature and naive. I have been asked conveniently only the questions that will suit the theory.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Marina, for spending this time with us tonight, and thanks for sharing your knowledge of the tragedy.
You're welcome.
A special report from Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist Jack Anderson.
We stand today on the edge of a new frontier, the frontier of the 1960s.
How many men pulled the trigger? How has this conspiracy been kept secret for 25 years? And why are people still being threatened and killed for what they know? Who murdered JFK?